Oh, well, Jan, obviously, you had a horse in this race. Bodo Glimt, Norwegian side, did well in the first half. Sorry, that goal just before the break proved to be decisive. United get the win, but considering the quality of the opposition, did we really learn that much today?
Well, first of all, Bodo Glimt come from North Norway. It's not far from where Santa Claus lives. And they give 2 goals away at Old Trafford. I mean, that is... I
see what he did there. Hey,
so, yeah, link. You see what I did there. But,
yes.
Having said that, they got early goals. They did the same at Ipswich. And then they kind of got it away. I don't think we have learned a lot over the 2 games from Manchester United. Got a point at Ipswich, beating Bodo Glimt at home, a Bodo Glimt team that rotated their team because they got the title decider this weekend. Just tell you the fact here. So I think that when you played with 3 at the back, you saw that second goal, you saw their vulnerability. Yeah, thank you for helping me out with that word. But you see how hurtful that can be when you play 3 at the back and you just chip the ball over there. Malatsia having tempo trouble at that moment. Having said that, I must say the goal from Højlund, where he used 2 touches, that was a brilliant goal. And 2 goals from him can help him for confidence, and it can also help Manchester United going into the harder games against Everton at home this weekend.
Obviously, Mark, you know, we're desperate to jump to conclude. What have we learned from these first 2 games? But it's fair to say not too much. Is that fair?
Well, I don't think we've learnt too much, but I think Ruben Amorim will have learnt a lot about the players that he's got at his disposal, and it'll have confirmed what he already probably feared, is in the sense that the players he's got aren't good enough. You know, he's got 1 or 2 good players, but I think, you know, he's given players a chance. You know, Tyrell Malasia's not played for 18 months. He had a game tonight. I think it's probably unfair to judge him, considering he's not played for so long. But, you know, Mason Mount had a game. He's put Bruno Fernandes in midfield. I think this is what Amorim's doing. He's trying to look at the players he's got and try to find out who's suitable for his system, who can survive in his squad, and how he can progress. Now, what he said at the weekend was that he's going to be playing teams and resting players because he wants players to spend more time on the training ground than on the pitch. But United are playing 2 games a week, so they need to find a way to play the games as well as train. But he's trying to coach his players and work out how they can fit into his system. So he will have learnt a lot. I think the players will have learnt a lot from Amorim as well. But I think people like ourselves who've watched United a lot over recent years will look at this and think, well, this is what we already expected. We knew that these players have let down previous managers and they won't succeed under Amorim. But I think he has to realise that by giving them a chance. He's given them a chance tonight, and some have let him down, and some have performed. I mean, Højlund scored 2 goals. That's good for his confidence. He might think that Højlund's a player there that he can get the best out of. But I think from Amorim's perspective, he'll think, you know something, I've got a lot of players to get rid of here, and I've got a lot of players to replace.
Well, but you say they've let down previous managers, Augie, but most of those players, or a lot of those players, came in under the previous manager. Whether he had his paw prints over them all or not, doesn't matter. He was the man in charge when most of these players come in. Obviously, Ruben Amorim has had no say in any of them, so he's just been handed this lot and been told, probably, I don't know what he's been told about January. Obviously, there'll be a lot of changes in the summer, but he's just been told you're going to have to get on with it. So he's in a position of trying to figure out how he can get this group of players to the best position, particularly in the league, between now and the end of the season. What do we know? We know De Ligt can't run. He's not the quickest. Those balls over the top, if the left-sided centre-back gets caught out, then he struggles to get across and help because of his mobility. We know Højlund was in the goals tonight, but we know that they struggle in that position in terms of having quality front men. We saw Anthony in the side tonight, but that won't last, particularly as a sort of attacking wing-back.
I didn't even know Mount was playing today. We watched the game.
Well, you know, we were watching both games, but Mason Mount, you know, there is a good player in there, but is there the player that they pushed so hard for and spent quite a lot of money on? I have my reservations about that. But yeah, he's just trying to figure out, right, who can I use to get the best results, clearly, in the short term until we can get the reinforcements that I want in or the recruitment team want. And that's basically what he's trying to figure out. They play Everton at the weekend, and then it's Arsenal in the midweek round of fixtures. Then he's going to get a real feeling about where he is with some of these players.
Looking at January, Mark, you tell us there isn't a lot of money to spend. Is it just a write-off? Is it just silly of us to speculate at all if anyone new's coming in because they just don't have the finances to do that?